What have you seen from your group in terms of physicality from the first couple weeks?
Yeah, we're developing, we're growing that. A lot of what we've been the last couple weeks is there's a level of conditioning and just getting the guys to play that full speed standard all the time. Doesn't matter how many wind sprints you do, how much conditioning you do in the summer. It's still different when you start doing football. So it's there. Physicality is something we're always pressing. It's always something that we have to have if you want to win and be an effective offensive line. But it's not easy. Everyone knows the things you got to do to win. You got to play really, really hard and have an edge to you. And the hard part is training yourself to go do that. And that's kind of what we're through right now. So you're having some up and down days because of that. But ultimately, we're still trending up in the right direction.
And Coach Lashley at the start said he thinks he's pretty close to maybe setting a starting lineup on the offensive line. Do you agree with him? Do you think you're close?
We are. We're getting close every day. And I think the good news is we still have 8, 9 guys we feel like we could play and if we needed to. But it's important that we try and get some guys just to get some continuity going. I know that there'll probably be some rotations early on just because of the heat of the games and stuff that you'll have. But it's nice just some practice if you can try and get those 5 solidified so we can kind of move forward.
You got some veteran guys in the group. What have you seen from them in the leadership standpoint?
Yeah, it's been an interesting group from the standpoint. You have a guy like Logan Parr who is a steady, solid guy who's there every single day and is just a consistent role model for how he lives his life and operates. Then you have PJ Williams who's shown it on the field, a little bit more vocal, and then you mix in guys like Josh Bates and Addison Nichols, and Josh is probably the most vocal guy we have, and he just got here in January. So I think the good news is that it's a lot of collaborative guys pushing each other. There's not necessarily the one bell cow that we need, but I think we have 4 or 5 guys that if they needed to be the guy, they could go do that.
You mentioned Logan probably could have gone off to the NFL after last year. What do you think he's got him back now?
Yeah, I mean, he's first and foremost, he's just a really good player that we have that we don't have to replace. But I mean, anytime I talk to NFL scouts about Logan, I was like, he's got a clean Carfax. He's like buying a car that's not had any accidents and no damage and all that type of stuff. That's what he is. I mean, he's got 3 degrees already. He's played quality football on the field. He's a model citizen on and off the field. Well, on the field, he's a bit less than model citizen, but no, he's exactly what you want as a coach's dream.
You played a lot of Addison at center and Josh Bates at right guard in the spring. It seems like it's flipped here in the fall. What's gone into that decision?
I think Josh is a better center than guard, and I think Addison's probably a little bit versatile at both. I think that was probably the biggest thought process is let's just maximize our guys at their spots. I think Addison's really comfortable at either spot, and he's named Remington preseason watch list, so I mean he can do whatever. But I think that the good news is that it shows off Addison's versatility and what a quality special player he can be. And that's the biggest motivation. Let's just try and find the best combination to get the best guys in the field.
Talked a lot about the experienced guys in the room. What are you seeing from the young guys like Dramodd and Abel so far?
Yeah, now we're throwing them to the fire. We gave those guys both a lot of 2 reps today, and a lot of it is whether or not they're even the best 10. We see the potential, we see what they can be, and we also want to see if they can sink or swim. We're kind of in that point, but I think both guys have flashed to where they're going to be really, really good players. It's not if, but when. And there's always that learning curve that takes place when you have a new lineman. But those guys really have kind of met our expectations so far, which we had high expectations for.
Last one for me, looking at left tackle, Coach Lashley talked about that one. Seems like a little bit of a battle. How are you seeing that one unfold between Savion and Andrew?
It is a little bit of a battle, yeah. That's probably the one spot that we don't feel solidified on. Good news is Savion Byrd, we won 11 games with Savion Byrd as our left tackle last year, and if Savion Byrd's our left tackle, I feel confident that he'd go out and do it and have another great year. Andrew Chambly's had a good camp. Got nicked up a little bit, setting back, but but all in all, he's gained 20 pounds. He's more physical. And he's always had good length and understands the game. He's there. And then another guy that's kind of emerged is Alan Nelson, who hasn't really played a lot in the last 2-3 years, but really talented. Still coming back from a knee injury. I think between the three of those, we can find our left tackle, even if it's a combination of those three. But I feel like all three are worthy candidates.